Hi, welcome to the Flower Species channel, where I thought I would demonstrate to the best of my ability 4 different ways of making I-cords. And I didn't really know how to make I-cords at all. I knew how to braid cord. I had to go look up what's an I-cord. I'm not ashamed to say that I don't know things, and then I have to learn. And things that people just commonly know, sometimes I don't know. And when you're learning a new craft, you have to go look up a lot. So I really didn't know what an I-cord was. Whenever I would come across it in a pattern, I would be like a chain, like a cord, like a macrame, like when we used to braid 1 over 1 over 1 of the, remember the plastic cording in the 60s and 70s, if you're that old. We used to make friendship braids like that. I was like, I really didn't know. So went out to the YouTube community where everyone is so generous and shows 50 million ways to make everything. And everybody has their own style and everything. And these are I-cords. They're all on all the different sides. They have little braids. And they're boingy little cords. And I had to make them for a hat I was making called a brain hat. And you might find it listed under the thinking cap, the brain cap, the can't think of what the other name of it was. The science hat. They were very, very popular during the Science March. So I made a brain cap for 2 different people last year. One was a sky blue cap with white on top and dark blue and light blue. And so I have all these different I-cords. And what these really are is the brains to my hat. To a hat I've been working on way too long now. And it's been one of those projects that I haven't been able to really get into them. I haven't been able to really feel it. I have some projects I'm just doing, and it's like, I don't know. I made, and you can do all kinds of things like this. Like when Frozen was really popular, and Elsa and everything, everybody was making little wigs for the dolls, and they were making, and there were people that make dolls use these as hair. You use these around your hoodies, you use them on bags. So they're like accessory things, but you can work them into your work also. So I made 2 hats. One was a brown one with a lighter colored brown on top, and then another one was a gray hat with, it was a darker gray, and it was a crochet cap with a lighter gray for braids. And this one I'm making for a friend of mine, which I have all these different colors for. And I need about a bajillion more of these. So you really need a lot of yarn for them, and you also need a lot of time, and they are time consuming. So I'm always looking for ways to make them faster. And there's those little cranker things that you buy. I don't know what they're called. Looped. I saw somebody doing a review. I can't remember her name right now. Maybe it was Krista on Crafty. There's a bunch of little gadgets you could buy where you just feed the yarn through and crank, and out comes these little I-cords, right? Well, I don't have that. So what you do with the brain or thinking cap, which I'm going to link to a pattern, you can either crochet a basic skull cap, or what I call ski cap. It just about comes to the tip of your ear, just about your skull. And some of them that they're showing have ribbing in them, and some of them don't. You could either put it on and leave it like that and have it down, and then you want to, like, I have a small head for this size I made for my friend. Not that she has a big head, but she has a lot more hair than I have, really thick hair. And I know that she's always going to wear her hair up in it, so whenever we've tried on hats for her, she needs a little more room. So You could turn your cuff up and you would have ribbing, or you could leave it down. The important thing is that you would start your applying your brain I-cords about, let's say, about 1/4 of an inch above the rim, the ribbing. So what you do is you take a contrasting yarn, say white, and you leave a little room there, and you sew this right down the center, and you leave a little room on the other side, and then you you go right down the center. You just kind of like slip stitch it through with either a large eye blunted embroidery needle or tapestry needle, or they sell them like this, not very expensive. You would put the yarn in plastic or metal. And so you just sew that there, and then you're going to go right around and then like this, just like a brain. You're going to have a sphere. Well, you get the idea. You're going to go this way, then you're going to go this way. But you want to start it a little bit just above. So you're going to need a measuring tape to measure that. And that's going to be your guide. You're going to play within those areas. And where you have this, like this here, you're going to give yourself a 1/4 of an inch. About here, maybe an 1/8 to a 1/4. Because you want a little bit of the gray to show in between. And you want a little bit of the gray to show here. Or whatever color the base of your cap is. So I had all of these little brainy things, these little I-cords will go on in different. What, Dustin? It's my cat. It's crying like something's wrong. You're gonna, if you've ever seen a picture of brains, or you can get a anatomy picture on Google or whatever, you're gonna go up, but leave some of the gray there. You're going to go up this way and apply your brains. Or you can go this way, apply your brains. And just make sure it's really even through here and even through here, all the way down, and you just sew them on. And I'm using all different colors because I like to personalize, and my friend is she's very psychedelic, very artsy, very hip vibe, 60s vibe, boho soho, gypsy spirited, bohemian type, 60s. She's a fractal child. She's so when I think of her, I think of neon and bright colors and tie-dye. So I'm personalizing it. So the other cool thing about this brain thinking cap is it was designed for the science march, which was, I believe, last March, and people were going to be outside in a rally. So it's cold when you're outside and you're marching. It really is like 2 hats in one, because you have all this on top of it going on. So you have a cap, but then you got this on top of it. It is the warmest winter cap. I mean, if you have shoveling to do, you want to be able to be seen in a blizzard, throw these little brains on there that are really bright, and it's a cool hat to make. Okay, so, but I had to make I-cords, and I really wasn't too good at doing that. I'm going to put all my ends in here, and just, this is another cool way to block your hat too, is to save all your little ends and pop them in there. I'm going to make, and you can make them all different sizes, and what I do is when I'm sewing the brains on, I make little squigglies and sneak them in, all different colors. Like I might take a, that's my neighbor's dog. I might take a little and just go like this. So you get different colors, like kind of do like an ombre-ish in areas. Yeah. That's a new dog. That's not that. Maybe it has a playmate. Can sit down. My cat's been crying all day because they keep bringing more animals in. Good God Almighty. It sounds like the dog lives with me right in my. They've had one in a room that it sounds like the dog is in my bathroom, and it just barks all night. It's like right there, and it's been driving my poor cat. Boo-hoo. Not me so much, except for when it begins to howl, because then it sounds like it's hurt or like something's wrong, and I don't know what's going on, but there's been quite a few animals over there. You might hear them go cuckoo again. It kind of wants to get going. So, my yarn, I have to put it all back together again. But you get the idea of the brain cap and the thinking cap. Okay, so, I don't know if you can hear that, but it's really like not good. Not good. That's definitely not a Marquis. That's definitely not her little terrier. Oh, no. That's a big dog. Okay, you need a measuring tape. I'm going to use some variegated yarn on this too because I think it will look really cool. Yeah. So, if you have a bunch of odds and ends of yarn, pop them on the side of your head. It really helps to, if you don't have I don't have one of those wig things or, to shape my hats yet, but I'm going to get one. I use lampshades. I use big jars. I try to find whatever I can. And I have a snowman cookie jar, and I turn it upside down and I put the hats over that to mold them. So this one's shaping pretty good, and I'm probably going to have to mail it to her because she was in town and we didn't get together last week. I wasn't able to get together with her and give it to her, and so I just stopped making. I was like, I'm done. I'm going to take a break from it. And I thought now's a good time to show people how to make ICORDS 4 different ways. Not one way, not 2, not 3, but 4 different ways. So the most typical way you'll see ICORDS made, I'm using Hot Pink with Love by Red Heart, is with double pointed needles, and I have number 5.0 millimeter double pointed needles here, size 6.5, 7 inch. But a lot of people are like, well, wait a minute, I don't have double pointed needles. If you don't, use chopsticks. The best chopsticks to use are the ones you get on a sushi bar, the little plastic ones, because they actually slide better. I'm going to do a long tail cast on. I'm going to make a slip knot. First of all, I should do that again. Okay. The way I do my slip knot, everybody does it different. I just grab a point, and then I take my 2 pieces of yarn and I turn it like this, and I grab that top piece of yarn. Like that. Okay. Then your slip knot for a long tail cast on is your first stitch. I'm going to cast on 4 stitches, so I only have to do 3. You can make ICORDS using 3 stitches, 4 stitches, 5, 6, how many you want, whatever size needle, whatever size yarn you want to use. whatever length you want to make them, whatever width you want to make them. The width will be decided by how many stitches you put on your needle. The reason the most preferred method among knitters is a double pointed needle is you're going to cast on, you're going to slide, you're going to turn your needle this way, slide it down, and then turn it over. And when you do that, your working yarn that's connected to your skein is on the bottom. It's down here. And your little waist tail, or what I call waist tail and the long tail, is here, and it's going to start growing this way. And what you're going to do is knit the stitches. What creates the I-cord, is you're going to take your working yarn, which is always on the bottom, and wrap around all 4 stitches and knit. I'm going to do that again. And that will create, eventually, a twist that you'll be able to feel and see the braid and the I-cord developing. You just continue to knit as normal. And then give it a good tug. And again, go down and up. That's it. That's why people are using the double pointing needle. So again, I don't have my glasses on, but I'm about to put them. I'm going to go around those 4 stitches, creating a wrap, so you're creating the twist in there. Knit your 4 stitches. I had their dog poop outside my door the other day. Dog is out by my door. I love dogs, but honest to God, I don't love dogs pooping outside of my door in the common hallway. Okay, I'm going to go around. You just keep doing that. And I'm going to go off camera and keep doing this, and then come back when I have a little bit of length, and we're going to compare all the different ways. I'm going to show you how to do this with with double pointed needles and with straight needles and with a crochet hook, and then the crochet hook with help. And I'll show you what I mean. So 4 different ways. This is the first way. I'm going to go off camera and get my glasses and come back when I have some length on that. Okay, so I'm just going to make them all around this size because I need about 4 or 5 more this color that I can shape this way and sneak in the center of my white braid. So I'm thinking of the hat that I'm making right now, so I want some that are separate. As you can see, all sides of it are boinky and have the little braid in it. So this works. I'm going to show you how to close these off. Just come right in like a regular 2-stitch bind off and knit 2 stitches. I don't know how much of the dogs you can hear. I mean, they're really out in the hallway. Okay. And then you just pass the one stitch over the other. I'll show that to you again. You're going to knit another one. So you knit 2, then you pass the first stitch over, then you knit another one, and that leaves 1 on your hook, then you knit another one and you have two. You always have two here. You come over with this needle and you pass this slip stitch over this one like that, and you back that one up. Then you knit this one and you have two sort of in the middle, or like almost in the middle, and you come over here with this needle, and I can see what I'm doing. Let me see. I can get move it. And you pass that over this one, bring that through like this, and just pull up like that. That closes it off, and then I put these aside. And then what I do is I snip. Everybody fastens off their own way. I snip from the bottom and just pull that through like that. There you go. Now, I'm not going to tie all these off now because I don't want to make this video very long, but you would use an embroidery needle and you would just stitch to about here and just go right down straight in. You'll see there's a spot up on top. You go right down in, and this is hollow in the center, so you can bury that right in there. And then you do the other end. Or you could use a plastic one, or some people have those little hook ones. I wouldn't use a hook one for that, like the ones that bend. So that's one. And then the second way you do this is with straight needles. And you would, again, make a slip knot. And then I'm gonna put 3 stitches because my slip stitch again counts as my first stitch. So same idea. And now what we're gonna do different is we're gonna slip these stitches right over here to the other needle. And you're going to give that a tug, and then turn it this way, and you'll see that you're set up to begin again. And again, you're going to come around 4 stitches and knit your 4. I'm going to slip this. And then your yarn is on the bottom again, and you're set up to keep going. So you're just going to keep knitting your stitches and making sure that you've got your working yarn on the bottom, and bring it around the 4 stitches. Make sure that wrap goes around the 4 stitches or 3 stitches or 5 or 6, whatever you're using. That will actually, it will begin to create a twist that you can feel a turn beginning, and it will also, you'll be able to see it by about 5 or 6 rows in. I'm going to be able to really see it. So I'm going to go off camera and finish mine. Again, you're going to slip your stitches. And then set yourself up to be in the right again, like this, so that your tail is coming out of here, and what you're going to be working with your yarn is down here. So I'll be right back when I get a little bit more length. Okay, so this is my second version, and not too different from the first one. Much the same. I wanted to try to make them all the same length. So I'll do the close off here, the bind off. So you're going to knit 2 stitches. And then come over here with this needle and grab that first stitch and do like you would if you were doing like a pass slip stitch over, and just lock it and drop that one off, and it locks it. Then you knit another one. You come over, and you have 2 over here, so you come over here and you grab that first stitch, and you pass it over that stitch, and lock that over. And then you knit that last stitch, and you have 2 left here. Come into that first one, and grab that and pull up, and it's tight. So now I can get these. Snip from the bottom here, and just weave that through, and there we go. So there's 2 I-cords. One made with double pointed needles and one made with slipping straight needles. Okay, so now I'm going to go on to the next way, which is crocheting. And this is by far my most difficult way of doing this, but some people are handier at doing this and more agile. They're more coordinated and they can. So, but I'm going to give you an alternative to this, which will be the 4th way for crocheting. So if you don't knit and you crochet, you're going to make a slip stitch, and I'm using a 5.0 needle, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to snug that up. I'm going to go into the first chain and drop a loop, and into the second one and drop a loop, and then pull down, snug it up a little bit that way and this way. And now the idea now is that you're going to take the last 2 stitches off, and I'm going to hold them like this. You really have to hold on to them. You're going to drop the last 2 stitches off your crochet hook, yarn over, and without losing those 2 stitches, pull through that first loop. Now put your loop back onto the needle or hook and draw through the second one, and then go through, put your needle back on that one and draw through that. And again, you're going to drop off those 2 stitches and try not to lose them. I'm going to hold on to them a little awkward and draw through that first one, go through the second one and draw a loop through that, go through the third one and draw a loop through that, and take those 2 off, hold them, yarn over that first one, Put your loop back on there. Don't want to lose my loop. My third loop always goes missing with this way. That's why I've decided it's kind of a hard way for me to do it. Help if I have my glasses on right now. Right, tap back on there. I'm going to put my glasses on as soon as I find them. Okay, and so you can see what we're doing is the same idea. I'm going to throw my glasses on because I move. They blend, especially when I can't see. Okay, everything blends. My cat blends, everything blends. Okay, so that's better. Now I'm going to take those two off and just pull them out a little bit. Give myself a little room. So this, you can see how this could be frustrating for somebody who doesn't knit and only crochets and is faced with a pattern of making an I-cord. And you have to try to hold on to all of these loops. If you drop them, you'll just end up knitting flat. It will look flat. It will not look like a sided I-cord, like this one here if it were to drop off. Now, I'm not saying don't do this, but I'm saying it takes a while before you see it start to get bongy. It'll start to twist right around maybe the third row here. I'm going to go off camera and do this a little bit longer and take my time because it really is a befuddly weird way of of doing it. But I'm going to come back and show you an easier way in a minute. Okay, so this is a I-cord crochet, and we'll compare them. And I did this one a little loose. I didn't, and the way you would close this is yarn over and pull through all four of those loops and just tighten it up. Put up this, and again, from the bottom I do. Now I think I really have a hard time doing the crochet ones, but we put these all together next to each other. So I'm using different color yarn, so it looks bigger with the crochet hook. It's a little looser. It could be the crochet hook I used was a 5.0H. The double needles I used was a 5.0, and the straight hooks are 5.0. So it could be that, I don't know, but to me it just seems a little bit looser. It will still do the job, but I don't like the way they turn out that way, and I don't like the way I don't like the whole technique of doing it that way. So here's a way that I saw, I believe I saw Marley Bird's channel was doing this, and also could be Joanne's Web. I've seen quite a few people do this, and I had thought I invented this, but no, I didn't. Other people have been doing it, so this is the fourth way. I just thought it would be good to have it all in one video. You start just like you would normally crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and get a little snug. Go into that second loop and pull up a loop. Go into that third one before the slip stitch and pull up a loop, and then tighten up. And you have your beginning. Okay. Then you can use your double pointed needle or your straight needle or another crochet. If you don't knit, you could use another crochet I have one here. Use another crochet hook. Use this one, just like this. You go in and grab 2 off, those same 2. Get my hand to work. There we go. Grab those 2 off, and then come around and go ahead and pull your loop right through. Then you could stay right on the other crochet hook and crochet off of it like that. I will say, or you could slip it off and do it, or you could use a cable needle, or you could use a bobby pin, or you could use a needle. I wouldn't use it that way. I would use it the other way. You want to put something in here like this. I'm going to use my double pointed needle here, and I'm just going to slip these last 2 right off. Get under them. Slip those right off. And now they're safe over here, and I can just yarn over that first one and pull through a loop, and I can go ahead and work right on that needle and wrap around and draw a loop through and push that off. Go into the next one, so you don't even have to like keep transferring back and forth. I'm going to take these off. Actually, I find this way goes quicker than any of the ways, and it comes out looking really cute. It looks real boingy, and so this is by far this is my favorite way to crochet an I-cord, and probably with the double needles is my most favorite way to double pointed needles, DPNs, to knit. Just want to snug that up, and I don't know why I just did that. I think I was thinking of the last one. Put them on here, and wrap around, go through that loop. It doesn't matter if you go through the back or the front of that loop, it's going to still create a I-cord. You can already see it beginning to take shape there. So I'm going to again come right in. It goes so much faster. I just want to get under my split there. I don't get hung up. Okay, now it's safe there. Just come right on here. Go through. Go to the next one. Around here. Through. And like I said, you don't. A lot of people don't. They're like, well, what are you going to use an I-cord for? They come in handy if you're making motifs and doing wall art or afghans, where you want to do a little bit of crow knitting, or you just want to outline your work, like maybe you did embroidery and you want to personalize something. Maybe you have a loved one that loves I don't know, butterflies or horses or baseball or just whatever, owls. You have a way to personalize. You can make all kinds of motifs of horses. Say you have somebody in your family that loves to garden, and you want to maybe make a dishcloth for them, crocheted or knitted, with the shape of maybe a person, something in the garden, a flower or a butterfly or birdhouse, or maybe they're bird lovers, whatever it is. You can shape these around your round embroidery to give it that homey, crafty feel, or around a square, around a pillow's edge. You could sew it in. So tassels for curtains, you can use it for all kinds of things. With lace, it works really good too. So I'm going to go off camera and keep doing that. And this is by far my most favorite one because it just comes out looking better. We'll compare them in the end, and I'll show it to you. I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got some length on here, and this is by far my favorite result, I think, out of all of them. But we'll put them together and compare. So you're going to yarn over and pull through. I'm going to give myself a little room there. Yarn over and pull through 4 loops. And you may have to like really dip down to get through them. And then fasten up. So that's 4 ways to make ICORDS in 41 minutes. It's probably going to be a little bit longer. Sorry the video took a while, but I like this one. I put them all side by side. These are the 2 crocheted ones. This one came really kind of loose. It looks great, but it came kind of loose because I was so conscious of holding on to those last 2 that I wasn't snugging up because I didn't want to drop my last 2 loops. So that would be the downfall of making ICORDS, I think, that way. And unless you're, and some people are more coordinated than me. Otherwise, it comes out looking like this. I mean, it's an ICORD, but it's a loose one. Okay, this is the other crocheted one with just a little tighter weave, with slipping the stitches off onto a cable, a crochet needle, or a or DPNs. This was the first one I did with the DPNs, and it looks a little thinner. And then this one here is my favorite way out of these 2. So out of these 2 was working with 2 straight needles, which I just think they have more of a boing and a round cylinder look to them. So my favorites are working with the straight needles and slipping the stitches off, and then turning the needle and continuing to work, and working with the crochet hook and slipping stitches off with the DPN, a cable, a bobby pin, or anything. So there you have it, 4 different ways to make ICORDS. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging in there. I hope you will go out and make a bunch of ICORDS and enjoy making the brain thinking cap if you're making that, and enjoy all your Christmas crafting. Have a really wonderful day. Thanks. Bye.